So guys, welcome back to another video. Excuse that light there. We've got a few problems with the electric. We've got an electrician coming around on Monday, so got 3 days of lights hanging from the ceilings around the whole house. But as you saw, we had a low weigh-in this morning of 174 pounds, which is good. I've been stuck on like 176 since that last video, 175 and a half I think it was, for like 5 days, which is annoying, but my body does do that. So I don't know if any of you do the same. I seem to hold weight and then just wash it after a few days. What I do tend to find as well, which is quite interesting, is like I feel good after a wash. So that day that I recorded the last video, I felt pretty good, just a bit hungry. And as the days progress, I feel worse and worse and worse. And just before I get that next wash is when I feel the worst. And I don't know, I was on work yesterday and I felt a bit out of it, a bit spacey. And then I woke up this morning, £1.5 pound down, feeling pretty good again. So I seem to feel worse before that wash, which is, I don't know why, but it is what it is. Coming to the end of the deload now, so I've had 3 days off. This is my last day today, and then back in for legs tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll do a D-volume for the next 3 days, which will just be one set off my main exercises. So we have made some volume adjustments as well. So we've taken about 10 sets away across the week, across everything together. So about 2 sets a session. Just as I'm getting leaner, my recovery capability is going down. I'm not in a position where I'm going to build any sort of muscle, so there's no point in chasing them higher volumes. So just at a stage where we're trying to conserve muscle where possible. But yeah, so you saw that weigh-in this morning. You saw the coffee we had as well. We had a cafetiere today. I thought I'd spoil myself. Usually we use a coffee machine, which is nicer, but sometimes you fancy the change. And you saw me have my HydroFlow, which is here, which is about 1.5 litres of water. And about 7.5 grams. Oh, I don't. About 7 grams of it with about 1.5 litres of water. And yeah, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see very well, but the sun is shining today. It's much nicer. Last time I checked in, it was like 0 degrees in that walk. It's horrendous. So today it's still about 8 degrees. But the sunshine makes a big difference. So I've got another day off, and yes, I do have a job, but March is a new holiday year, so I've got lots of holiday to use, or I lose it. So I've got an extra day or two a week off, which is nice. So what we'll do today is I'll have meal 1 now, which I'll show you, and go for a walk with Faye because it's sunny. I'm making the most of it. Probably get another coffee, do some shopping, and that's about it. Oh, my deload is rest day food, so it's pretty low, it's pretty boring, but I'll show you the meal anyway. It's always interesting to get other people's meal ideas, so I'll show you that. Then I'll go and get a haircut, sort this absolute mop out. I do need to sort my beard out as well, but I can't be arsed today. So I'll catch you in about 10 minutes for meal number 1. Right guys, so meal 1 is eggs. And that's pretty much it. The first 2 meals are pretty much literally just protein and fats. It's only because my carbs are on 150. I tend to save them towards the end of the day. Not really for appetite, more so just to fuel the training tomorrow. I'd rather just feel a bit shit this morning, get it out of the way, and then feel good this afternoon as well. So for this meal, obviously I had a little bit of milk in my coffee, so I'm not exactly fasted, but I'm not having black coffee yet. That's gross. So I have 200 grams of egg whites. These are an absolute lifesaver. There's 200 grams is usually about 6 eggs, so it saves 6 egg yolks. Although I don't really know what they have to do with the other 6 egg yolks. They probably them themselves. We have 2 eggs, and what I'll do is, the cat's heard the eggs breaking. I sometimes give them a yolk, but obviously I don't anymore, because I haven't got any. I'll make it into an omelette today. Usually I have it as a scrambled egg on the side. I usually have like some smoked salmon, because I'm posh like that. I've been starting to introduce some smoked salmon just to get more salmon into my diet. And even though they're off season, I didn't like it at all. I actually quite like it now. But we have no smoked salmon today, so I've got 15 grams of cheese instead. So what I'll do is I'll make an omelette, I'll put the cheese in the middle of it, and then usually I've got a side of either a veg, a bit of fruit, or today I've got some lovely sauerkraut, which is pretty gross, but I know it's the benefits, especially with digestion and that, so that's good. That's the sauerkraut I'm using. I'll have about 25 grams of that. For fuck's sake. Fucking cat, I swear to God. Right, so that's the sauerkraut I'm using. I'll use 25 grams of that. It's it tastes okay. It's a bit shit, and I'm not a fan, but like I said, now my food's low, it really helps with digestion. Obviously my veg is as high as it was in the off season. It's still about 200 to 300 grams a day. My fruit is the same, but just with less carbs in general just means less fibre as well. So I have 25 grams of that. If you are going to have it, I'd suggest starting with a lot lower. I started with like 10 grams, otherwise you will get a dodgy stomach. But I have 25 grams of that with the omelette, which is looking pretty good. So that's got cheese in it, salt and pepper. Usually, like I said, I'll have a scrambled egg instead with smoked salmon, but obviously no smoked salmon, so this will probably be nicer, to be honest with you. Just obviously health with smoked salmon. So I'll enjoy this now. I'll go and get my haircut and I'll see you guys in a second. So I'm back. I actually forgot to record meal number 2. But meal number 2 was literally just a protein shake. So like I said, first 2 meals are protein fat. I kind of lied, the second meal is just protein. But reason being, like I said, I want to save the carbs towards the end of the day so I can fuel performance tomorrow with it being a leg day. So I've got my haircut, as you can see, nice fresh trim. I'm really bad for getting my haircut, I'm really lazy. I have to drive quite far to get it done. Well, I don't really, it's like a quarter of an hour. And then I've got to walk another 10 minutes from the car park to get my haircut. I don't know how much your guys' hairs cost, but it literally cost me like £22 to get my hair done. Which is, it's so pricey, but it's what it is. So I've got it done, I got quite a lot of car. Like I said, I don't go often, so I've got it all cut off. I actually need to shave my beard into it now. He did offer to do it for me, but I like doing that. Well, I'm a bit picky with that. So what do we do? Went there. Faye was with me because she was waiting in the car because she was doing her makeup. So we went to town for a walk, which was, it was nice, but it looked sunny, and again, it really wasn't. So I didn't want to get the camera out because my hands were so cold. So we went for a walk. We went to Cafe Nero for a coffee or takeout. That was nice. Cafe Nero is always the best. High street coffee. I actually got an Americano. So the Americano and the protein shake, and that's it for meal 2. I went to Mark's for some more fruit because I'm addicted to their fruit at the moment. And then we got a stir fry from Mark's, give that a go for the weekend. And I went to Asda for a full shop. And we went to go to Timpson's to get a key because our keys are all broken bar one because outdoor keeps snapping on keys, which isn't great. A bit of an admin day really. I made an appointment with the garage as well because my brake pads have just started going. So if you can hear beeps in a minute, that's probably why. And then our water in the house is also gone. So it's been one of them days. So I've had to go to the shop just now to get some water, so I have to come back out of the house. Isn't great, but my next meal has carbs in it, so I am excited for that. It might give me some life. Everything feels so much harder when you're hungry. Like just even like driving home, knowing I had the shopping to put away was a nightmare. It was just like a stressful nightmare. So that's not great. But yeah, so going home now, sort the house out, wash the pots, and then we'll have meal 3. So I'll catch you for that one. Right guys, we are at meal number 3. So I actually swapped meal number 3 with meal number 4. So for meal number 3, we've now got, I don't know if you can see that, we've got my oatmeal. Usually this is meal number 4, but meal number 3 has veg, and I didn't pre-cook veg, and I thought I did. So I couldn't be bothered waiting 20 minutes for the veg to cook and chop it all up in there. So that'll be meal 4 now instead. So I'll show you that anyway. But meal number 3 is basically oats, but it's only 60 grams because my carbs are quite low, 150 grams a day on the rest day. So 60 grams of oats, 40 grams of whey, 1 Pink Lady apple because there's no other apple that compares, and 15 grams of 85% dark chocolate and 15 grams of almond butter. But as you can see, that almond butter, usually I sprinkle on top, it just kind of landed in a big dollop right in the middle, so I'll live. But yeah, usually I have peanut butter, which I prefer, but I thought I'd give almond butter a go. It's all right, it's got a very earthy taste. But yeah, I'll have this now, and then even though it's my day off, I have got loads of work to do this month, so I'll probably just spend a few hours doing a bit of work. And then I'll have meal 4, which I'll show you meal 4. But as always, I'll put the calories and the macros, or just the macros on the screen. This is my favourite meal of the day by far, especially on a rest day. But I always have my last meal something sweet as well, because I like something sweet before I go to bed. So I'll show you that. It's not as nice as that. The hardest thing about eating when you're eating alone is trying to find the right YouTube video. You know, you've drained every single YouTube video. So I'm just trying to find one that I know I'll eat. No, I'm not. I'm trying to find one that I know I'll watch while I eat. So it's either gym videos similar to this one that I like to watch, or videos on games. I quite gaming, even though I don't have much time to game. So I must game at least an hour a week. But what can you do? But to save battery and save storage space, I shall eat this in peace while I watch this video. And then I shall see you guys for meal number 4. Right guys, we are back with meal number 4 now. I've literally not moved from here since meal 3. I've been on my computer here doing work for about 2 hours. And then I played a bit of games for half an hour, and then I died, so I gave up. Like I said, I've got loads of work to do for work, if that makes sense. For my job on the side, I've got to do masters, so there's a lot of like extra work that I've got to do, and there's a few things I've got to do in March. So it's what it is, all fun and games. For this meal, I've got, see, it looks really shit in the light, but this meal I've got 100 grams of carrots, 200 grams of raw weight chicken, and then I've got a pita bread as well on the side, and then 20 grams of Nando sauce. Again, it's meant to be meal 3, but it wasn't today. I swapped them around. I won't be adding any other carbs for tomorrow's session. I was debating whether to add a few more carbs to re-speed up a little bit. I won't. I'll probably regret it tomorrow, but there we go. So the first 2 meals you saw today were very low carb. The main goal is to have them carbs in these last 2 or 3 meals. Reason being is, if I ate them all in meal 1 and 2, by the end of the day, I would have burnt through most of them carbs. So in terms of a fat loss perspective, I'd have burnt the same amount of weight. However, if I have them carbs later in the day, there's more chance of them then being carried over into tomorrow's session. Even if it's a small amount, anything will help. So tomorrow what I'll do is I'll wake up, I'll have 3 meals before training. 1 in the morning is quite low carb, only because I've got to have 1 meal that's quite small. And then I'll have 2 more meals that are quite big for me at the moment. And then I'll train in the afternoon after 3 meals. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy this now. I'll probably go in, I don't know, I'll probably go for a walk outside because it looks pretty cold, but it looks pretty tame in terms of the wind and rain. I'll probably go and see some friends or some family, I don't know yet. And then I'll be back here for meal 5 before picking up Faye later on from work. So I'll catch you all for meal number 5. Ignore what I said there. I'm not going for a walk. I've literally just come out to go for a walk and it's absolutely Baltic. I think because I've been sitting down all fucking afternoon, so like my core temperature is really, really low. And then you mix that with, well, I'm waiting to see what the temperature is in my car, but it's just shouting at me because my car needs a service. There you go. And it's shouting again because I need a brake pad. But, oh, it's 7 degrees. It's not too cold, but it is cold. All right, ignore that. It's windy. So what I'm doing instead is, because I already left the house, I already got my coat on, is I'm going to go and see my mother. I'm going to have a drink at hers. Nothing exciting. It'll probably be a cup of tea. It's not going to be a rum or coke or anything. And then I'll come home, have meal 5. So basically, deload is done. I've had 4 days off completely from training. I'm going to rest day food, which has been, well, I'll put the macro at the end, but it's 210 protein, 150 carb and 50 fat. So it's like literally, it's under 2,000 calories, which when it's on 2 days a week for a rest day, it's fine, but because I've had 4 rest days in a row, it's been pretty brutal. Steps have been down from 13,000 to 10,000, and my cardio has been removed from 35 minutes to none. Today is the last day of doing that, so even though it's nice not having to do the cardio and the extra steps, I'm hungry. So tomorrow obviously is a training day, so my carbs will be double at 300, fat a little bit lower just to save the calories, so the fat will be 40 grams. Protein will be up a little bit, 230, just to account for trace proteins. So I'm looking forward to having some food in me. I'm looking forward to getting back into training. I wasn't really yesterday, I was still dreading the thought of training. I think I just got my food so low, but now I'm starting to get that itch, which is good. And then I'll have the cardio obviously after training. So like I said before, the volume has come down a little bit because of the training, but whilst I'm going back into it for the first 3 days, I'll also run a devolume, so I'll take 1 set off everything, so it won't be too much of a hard training session. So I'll probably have about 150 milligrams of caffeine in the pre-workout. I'll have 3 meals before I go, 1 being small, 2 being quite big, and then we'll get an absolute juicy leg session. I will put in some check-in shots here, which I will be taking tomorrow, so you'll see them before I am currently. I haven't shaved my body in ages, so ignore the body hair. What you'll probably see, I don't know yet, is that I'll be very, 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 very flat. Just because I haven't trained for 4 days, plus my carbs being low, so I'll probably be like a skinny child. But obviously, over the next 3 sessions, when I've trained everything at least once, I should get some of that fullness back. And then by this time next week, I should be back to the way I was. It'll still be quite flat because that's just what happens when you run a diet. But at the same time, I won't be as fat as I am now, so I'll look a little bit better. Maybe I'll look like I'll train again, and then we'll just see how it goes from there. I don't think we'll have a refeed this week, which is a bit shit. I was hoping for more food, but my body is playing ball. It's losing weight like it should, so I don't really need to intervene with a refeed. So yeah, I'll catch you all for meal number 5. So guys, we are back and we are in a bit of a rush. Oh, we're in a massive rush actually. I went to a mum's house in the end and we had a cup of tea. So I had a drink at a mum's house and we just talked rubbish for ages, and I've got to go and get pay for 8:30, and it takes about 15-20 minutes to get there. So I've only got 10 minutes now to eat. But it's a yogurt meal. It's a yogurt meal that you've all seen plenty of times, so I'm not going to show you how I make it, but I'll tell you what's in it. So today's 350 grams of yogurt. Still a few of them for the flavour drops. 20 grams of honey. I think it's 100 grams of strawberries, and then the little pink lady apple. It's quite a nice meal. It's quite big. I used to have granola in this meal. It's absolutely lovely. But I did take the honey out first, and then I thought, oh, we'll just granola and the fruit. And then one day I tried it with the honey instead of the granola, and it's much nicer. So if you have to get rid of something, and out of all that, get rid of the granola. The honey I will keep as long as possible, as long as I've got fruit in there. But that's it. That'll literally be my last meal. So I'll make that now. Like I said, I'm not going to show you it because you've seen it a million times. I'll put the macros for it up on the screen, and then I'll also put the totals as well. There's no trainings today. Like I said, it's been quite a admin based day, but if there's anything particular you want to see, let me know. I quite enjoy just documenting my journey, so I don't really want to go out my way and force these fun things that I'm doing that I'm not really. I'm just documenting my journey as I go along it. And then for you guys that are interested can follow along. You can get some ideas off me. If you can give me any of your ideas, that'd be great. Just let me know if you have any meal ideas or anything. But if there's anything in particular you want to see, let me know. As always, like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.